You and I've had this question before, but can you think of any situations in your running of the company where decision A would optimize return, but decision B seemed more consistent with what God was calling you to and your business to? Did you see ever any tension between the two?
I didn't see that tension.
Okay.
It may have been because in almost everything we were doing, we were serving.
Mm-hmm.
So we were serving and providing something that clearly benefited the customer if we did it well. But I can tell you that there certainly were mistakes made with respect to earning money. And probably the biggest challenge that I had and areas that I made mistakes in earning money was our growth record. We had up quarters for every quarter for over 22 years.
Yeah.
So you can imagine when we were getting close to the end of the quarter,
Yeah.
you know, you wanted to make sure it was another up quarter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you push a business then when
Yeah.
you're in that thing. And there were times when probably as a CEO responsible, there was obviously other people involved in it, but I was responsible for it. Pushed it too hard.
And what was the measure of too hard?
What was the measure of too hard?
I mean,
Was
why do you
maybe the way people had to work to get the job done.
I see.
That was clearly the clearest way
Okay.
in which I could have measured it.
One of the challenges, of course, with the optimizing or maximizing profit model is always the question of over what time frame. When you were CEO and public company and reporting quarterly and had just this tremendous, incredible record, did you ever feel like you were sacrificing long-term profitability for the sake of short-term, or maybe even
That was a constant gnawing question.
Okay.
And being a public company puts extra focus on it
Yeah.
because of the variations in value depending upon what you report next quarter.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So all of those things, that was absolutely a constant tension. And I'm sure as you look at the growth of ServiceMaster, and I can say, you know, ServiceMaster is a smaller business today than it was when I ran it.
Mm-hmm.
Some people might say that that was necessary because we got into too many businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Others would say that's happened because of the way it was managed. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and of course, it would be easy for me to say that since I'm not
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the variable, the vehicle, the temporal nature of business, and the reality that you're constantly serving a changing market.
Did you have any sense that your Christian faith informed that long-term, short-term balancing tension? Would you have approached it differently as a non-Christian than as a Christian?
Yeah. I can tell you one time, Jeff, very specifically. It's when I came back as CEO, and we had a unit which was not performing well at all. In fact, it was losing money. And we had a lot of intangible assets in that unit, goodwill.
Mm-hmm.
And we were coming up. This was the first quarter that I was CEO, back again as CEO, and we were coming up to the question of whether we should take a charge because the value was overstated in light of the way the business was performing. And I had all these analysis from the accounting staff, which showed that a present value analysis over the next 15 years would show that no, you don't need to take a charge.
Yeah.
Because if you assume this and this and this and this and this in growth,
Yeah.
you'd be out of it, and the values were clearly there, and you invested in it. And our outside accountants were nodding, yes, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to take a charge. I asked one simple question of the leader of the business as it related to the value. I said, would you buy the business at this price today? He said no.
Mm-hmm.
I said, we're going to take a charge. And I think as I went through that decision process about what was fair and right in the way of disclosure, honesty, it was very much a product of my faith.